Hello everyone, my name is Braden, this is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2024 Monster Manual and talk about the Ice Devil. Ice Devils are devils of antipathy and intellectual arrogance. We're going to take a look at the 2024 stat block for the Ice Devil. I'm going to compare it to the 2014 stat block, and we're going to talk about what changes have been made, if any, and discuss whether or not these are actually beneficial or detrimental to the stat block itself. So, without further ado, let's talk about what an Ice Devil is. So, Ice Devils are heartless strategists of the Nine Hells. They are also known as Gelugons. They forsake emotion to indulge in their own malicious interpretations of logic. For them, the multiverse is a puzzle that must be solved to benefit them, their masters, and the Nine Hells. Ice Devils act maliciously, disguising their whims as reason and strategy. In the service of evil masters, these insectile devils patiently plot the movements of infernal armies and scheme ways to fulfill wicked goals. They might also serve as guardians, owing to their martial prowess and ability to reshape battlefields with walls of ice. When indulging their own schemes, Ice Devils tempt mortals to forsake empathy and social connections to embrace selfish, destructive visions of intellectualism. After isolating these victims, these devils drain them of their secrets or send them forth to spread fractious dogmas cloaked as reason. Ice Devils usually lurk in frozen realms, particularly the frigid lair of Khania in the Nine Hells. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the 2024 stat block for the Ice Devil. So this is the Ice Devil. They are a large fiend, a devil of course. They are lawful evil in alignment. They have an armor class of 18, an initiative of +7. They have 228 hit points. They have a speed of 40 feet. For ability scores, they have a strength of 21, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 18, an intelligence of 18, a wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 18. They are also proficient in dexterity, constitution, wisdom, and charisma saving throws, so that's quite nice for them. Skills, they have insight at +7, perception at +7, and persuasion at +9. Immunities, they are immune to cold, fire, poison, as well as the poison condition. Senses, they have blind sight of 120 feet and a passive perception of 17. Languages, they know Infernal, and they have telepathy of 120 feet. Challenge rating, they are a challenge rating 14, granting them 11,500 experience points and a proficiency bonus of +5. For traits, the Ice Devil has Diabolical Restoration. This states that if the devil dies outside the Nine Hells, its body disappears in sulfurous smoke and it gains a new body instantly, reviving with all of its hit points somewhere in the Nine Hells. Magic Resistance states that the devil has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Multi-attack says that the devil can make 3 Ice Spear attacks, and it can replace one attack with a tail attack. So, let's go ahead and talk about these actions. Ice Spear is a melee or ranged attack roll with a +10 to hit, and either a reach of 5 feet or a range of 30 to 120 feet. On a hit, it deals 2d8 +5 piercing damage, plus 3d6 cold damage, and until the end of its next turn, the target can't take a bonus action or reaction, its speed decreases by 10 feet, and it can move or take one action on its turn, not both. On a hit or miss, the spear magically returns to the devil's hand immediately after a ranged attack. The tail is a melee attack roll with a +10 to hit and a reach of 10 feet. On a hit, it deals 3d6 +5 bludgeoning damage, plus 4d8 cold damage. And finally, we have Ice Wall on a recharge of 6. This states that the devil casts Wall of Ice, the level 8 version of that spell, requiring no spell components and using Intelligence as the spell casting ability, spell save DC 17. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what changes have been made to the Ice Devil, because there are quite a few. So, here are all of the changes to the Ice Devil. First one I should bring up is that the Ice Devil is now proficient in initiative rolls, which it was not before, so that is quite nice to see. Next up, let's talk about hit point changes. So in 2014, the Ice Devil had 180 hit points. It also had resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that weren't silvered, so that was present there. And the Ice Devil in 2024 now has 228 hit points. So it has gained 2 hit dice, but it has also gained 48 hit points, which is quite a lot. Actually, that doesn't make sense. The hit dice must be wrong. I don't know what I did, but that is definitely wrong. But yeah, anyways, the hit points have increased from 180 to 228, so that is a 48 average hit point increase, which is quite a lot. So quite cool to see that there. All right, so next interesting change is that the Ice Devil has gained all of those skill proficiencies. It did not have any of those beforehand, so that is kind of cool to see. And I've underlined here blind sight, 120 feet. In 2014, the Ice Devil had blind sight of 60 feet and dark vision of 120 feet. So what they have actually done here is they've increased the blind sight range for the Ice Devil. And since blind sight can see through magical darkness, they've just removed the dark vision portion. So makes a whole lot of sense, that change, but kind of cool to see that there. I quite like that change. They are also, because they are now proficient in perception checks, they now have a 17 passive perception, so that is new. Diabolical Restoration, of course, is an entirely new trait, so that is kind of cool to see. And now we're going to get to the main changes for the Ice Devil. Typically, or namely, the ones in its multi-attack and its actions. So, in 2014, the Ice Devil could make 2 attacks, one with its spear and one with its tail, if we're using the spear version of the Ice Devil. Otherwise, it made 3 attacks, one with its bite, one with its claws, and one with its tail. But honestly, I've always used the spear version. I didn't know there was a different version, so that is the version I'm just used to. So that is the main change there. In 2024, though, the Ice Devil now makes 3 Ice Spear attacks, and it can replace 1 attack with a tail attack, so that is kind of an improvement there. And we'll actually talk about how big of an improvement that is. So, Ice Spear. The really big change here is that you can now make a ranged attack with the Ice Spear. Not only that, it immediately returns to the Devil's hand after they make a ranged attack, hit or miss, so that is a new addition, which is quite great. And the additional effects that were caused by the Ice Spear are now automatic and last until the end of its next turn. Beforehand, the target had to succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, so that is a definite improvement there. The bite, claws, and tail attacks have been completely removed in the 2024 stat block, which honestly, the bite and claws rather have been completely removed, which I'm okay with. And the tail has actually seen some damage improvements here. In 2014, it only dealt 2d6 plus 5 bludgeoning damage and 3d6 cold damage, but in 2024, now it deals 3d6 plus 5 bludgeoning damage and 48 cold damage, so that is a definite improvement on the tail attack. Because of the changes to that tail And because of the Ice Spear is actually dealing the exact same damage as before, but because of the damage changes, rather in general, the average damage of the Ice Devil used to be around 65 average damage, and now the 2024 version is dealing on average about 72 to 81 average damage. So there's about an 11 damage increase in conjunction with that. So that is quite a major improvement. So quite happy to see that. That's really neat, and that's pretty great. But those damage changes only take into account the multi-attack. So we need to talk about Ice Wall real quick. So in 2014, this was a whole feature that was spelled out as to how it worked. It dealt 10d6 cold damage for the wall portion, and then if something moved through the wall, it took 5d6 cold damage. So otherwise, it worked exactly like the Wall of Ice spell. Now, the Ice Devil simply just casts Wall of Ice, and the reason this is great is because they do so without any spell components, so it cannot be counterspelled, and it has a decent DC to it, DC 17, which is the exact same DC that it had in 2014, but nice that that has not changed at all. But the major change here is that Ice Wall is cast at level 8 for the 2024 Ice Devil. So as you can see in that tiny little box next to the feature there, that has increased the base wall damage to 14d6 and the other damage to 7d6. So that is some pretty decent damage increase there from the majority. So overall, that's a really good action to cast, and I would definitely use that on the first turn, and then on subsequent turns make use of those Ice Spear and tail attacks as much as possible. So overall, major improvements to the Ice Devil, and I think the Ice Devil is looking pretty good in 2024. A lot better than it was in 2014. So yeah, pretty cool what they've done here. But yeah, that's going to be it for this particular video. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this type of content. Until the next video, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. See ya.